Okay, devotees, one of us can read the Mangalacharan, and who can do, who would like to do it?
I can propose you.
Sure.
Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmiltam Dhyano Tasmat Sri Guruve Namo Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yano Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jita Pada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Saghana Raghunathan Tang Sojibam Sadhuitam Sabadhutam Purijana Sohitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Saghana Lalita Sri Vishanisancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostete Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhis Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Shuti Devi Paramahari Pe Bancha Kalpataru Vaishya Kipa Sindhu Bevacha Potidam Pavuneva Vaishnava Namanama Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Devotees, today, let us see. Prabhuji's, we are on 22, right? If I'm correct. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, Krishna is the last verse. Krishna has said that he is seated in everyone's heart as the super soul, and he makes everybody's wish. If somebody wants to desire to worship one particular demigod, he says he makes their faith steady so that that person can devote and they can also advance. Devotees, I'm not a great fan of the phrase demigod, but still it has to be used. That is how the Western language they can understand. There is not a real, many of this, for example, even Bhagavan, the way we can understand Bhagavan, it cannot be really translated into God or Lord, but still we call the Supreme Lord, we say that. So the demigods are all, they are all created by Krishna only. It's a manifestation of Krishna. So why not we take a couple of moments, little understand how this is all happening. So give me a second here. Devotees, you're all able to see the slide, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So here is the Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of God, right? And then there are different kind of his energies, his emotions. Krishna is obviously the Supreme Personality. We have several emotions. We act in a certain way at the office. We act at a certain way with our neighbors. We act in a different way with devotees. We act very different at our home, right? So, Krishna, the Goloka Vrindavan that we keep talking about, is how a very strong, a supreme person, the entire world is controlled by him. But when he's at home with his very dearmost family members and friends, how he would be? His interaction, his emotions, his energy is the best of the best. So that is why we keep on saying Supreme Personality of Godhead, Goloka, Vrindavan. It is definitely not to undermine others. Definitely not. There are so many lokas, spiritual platform, beyond even Jiva Tattva. Let's say Lord Brahma is the highest point of Jiva Tattva, for example. Even above that, there are several, there is Ayodhya. There is leelas going on all the time in the spiritual platform. There is Jagannath Puri is there. But we are saying the Goloka Vrindavan, as described in the Shastras, especially there is one particular verse in a literature called Brahma Samhita. This Brahma Samhita was found by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he was touring the southern part of India. And even though he could not retrieve all the verses, he is God. It's all Leela, But at least some about 63 verses and were recovered. And those are all Lord Brahma's prayers to Krishna. So these are all just more and more layers of philosophy and understanding. So we should not think that the demigods are all something very inferior and they are somewhat negative, not at all. Let us analyze why it is like that, but why at the same time Krishna is saying people of less intelligence go to demigod. Let us analyze both. Okay, so there are many, Vishnu Tattva is the highest form of Tattva. From Vishnu Tattva only all the Shakti, Shiva, Jiva Tattva, everything expands. This is all an expansion. For example, if you can see, Srimati Radharani is the utmost internal energy of Krishna. And from her, all, there is no difference. Radharani and Mother Goddess Lakshmi, one and the same. But their interaction with the devotees, what is the difference between, let's say, Rukmani, Mother Rukmani, she's the queen of the Dwaraka, and Srimati Radharani? Anybody would like to say what would be why they are two? Krishna is with Rukmani all the time, almost like his Leela. It is said that material timeline, he was here about 125 years, and only 11 years he was in Vrindavan with Srimati Radharani. But most time the next 10 years he was in Mathura, and then almost a good 100 years in Dwaraka. So what is the difference between Rukmani and why we consider Srimati Radharani all the time we say Radha Krishna? Sometimes we also say Rukmani Krishna, but mostly Radha Krishna. So devotees, any thought on that?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can try.
Please.
Srimati Radharani is Krishna's Ladini Shakti. That's his pleasure potency of what Krishna always, that's why Radha and Krishna is all together. But Rukmini Devi is Krishna's wife. So there is a difference between Rukmini's Tatya and Srimati Radharani Tatya, Prabhuji. That's my understanding.
Yeah, you are right. See, Acharyas have said that there is really no difference. They are one and the same. Like, Lakshmi and Sita, they are one and the same. Radharani, Goddess Lakshmi, they're all one and the same. But they enact different mood. Srimati Radharani, the type of devotion that we kind of follow is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And that is in the mood of separation. So Acharya says, even though the love is the same, but that love that is being created by the separation, it's the utmost love. That person is not here. Like a mother, maybe the mother, she's not able to see her son. And here it's a little different. It's a Madhurya Rasa. But there, the separation, like the lovers, if they're not able to meet, how many Bollywood movies we might have seen? The hero and the heroines are singing and heroine is crying. That love is more intense than when they are even singing together another song. Why it is that? Because that is considered as a very, very powerful, very intense, very the purest form of love. So that's what it is. It's all different emotions being, given at different leelas. It's a non-stop leela happening all through the time at different platform. So this is Krishna is expanding to different, for his first expansion is Balaram. Then he would appear as, expand himself as Anirudh, Vasudev, Sankarsana, Pradyumna. Then Narayana comes out of that, Then comes again the secondary expansion of the same Anirudh, Vasudeva, Mahasankarshan, Pradyumna, and so on. Then here is Lord Brahma, here is Lord Shiva. Then let's go to, these are all the, as we can see, there is Mahamaya, there is Durga is here, Kali is here. So why Krishna is, in this particular verse, why he is saying don't go to demigods indirectly, sometimes directly. Even Srila Prabhupada says that. But Srila Prabhupada, let us analyze that little bit. We have to understand what was the most important, one of the most important verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate. Bahunam Janmanam. We have taken zillions of birth, from maybe inner to species to animals and then we have gotten this human form. From this human form, zillion births we would have taken to have become a jnani. And from that jnani, zillion birth to understand Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And out of that, the person who really perfect is really, really rare. So during this phase, until somebody comes to know that Vasudeva Sarvamidhi, the material platform is based on this philosophy. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Moksha is here, which is Krishna. So the material world has to function. Everybody has to go through this. We are not Prahlad and Dhruva Maharaj, that from day one, we are Krishna consciousness. We are not that fortunate. But we have taken several births to understand that. But during that period, the role of the Devatas are very important. Because why? The Devatas keeps in this Dharma, Artha, Kama. These are all good only. There is nothing wrong. Kama does not necessarily mean only too much of, physical desire and so on. Kama is some kind of an attachment to be in the material. But when it becomes too much material attachment, that is what we need to get detached. But this is required in the material world until they become Vasudeva Sarvamiti. They become a perfect jnani. That's what Krishna is trying to say. Now it is like someone becoming PhD. We have at least one PhD here, Bhashwati Mataji. Are there any other PhDs here?
Yes, sir.
Raghu Prabhu, Haribol.
Yes, he's.
Okay, so when you did not get into PhD immediately, you went to school, you went to middle school, you went to high school, you did your bachelor, you did your master, and then somebody goes to a PhD. Now, that is maybe, I'm just giving an analogy, maybe that is what is something like Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that PhD level. But that does not mean suddenly all the bachelors and masters students are all bad and all the teachers are bad. Not at all. They are very, very important in this ladder of, because this is not what, as per the Shastra, there is a good possibility this is not our first appearance as human being. You might have appeared maybe zillion times, maybe animals also. But during that time, the Devatas only, we have taken the help of Devatas. But today, we have reached that level of PhD. Now what we should do is that, but why then Krishna is saying less intelligent people? Because after getting into the level of PhD, now you should not be distracted with bachelors and masters and high school. that will be, that means you are kind of going backward, right? You already reached a level, not that the others are all bad, but don't get distracted. You have a PhD thesis to complete. Now, if you suddenly think, no, I found something very interesting in my high school study and my bachelor's degree, that one particular subject I'm very much interested. If you start doing that, you will lose your PhD. You're going to fall down. That's why Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, every saying, don't be distracted. That's what it is. Less intelligent meaning, you already reached a point. At least, see, knowing Vasudeva Sarvamiti is one, understanding at least. But that itself has taken, based on Shastra, zillions of them. It's not a coincidence. It's not just happened just like that. No. It has several births. Eternally. We are called Nitya Baddhas. We are eternally conditioned. But today we have an opportunity to be in this very, very special category. Okay? The Jnani, the Bhakta, who has really understood that Krishna is everything. But again, in that ladder, there are several steps. So it's a long process. At the same time, it can be achieved in one lifetime, this lifetime, because we already, at least we have developed a taste for Krishna. We have understood the purpose of our life is to reach Krishna. That's it. And if you are a little more enthusiastic, little more motivated, it will happen. And if you are more steady in our sadhana, shraddha, it will happen. So that is the deal. So I thought there is one more slide also, the expansion of Krishna. This right now we will not get into too much of this, but this is the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is called the Swayam Rupa. This is the Shamasundara form. As he appeared as a cowherd boy in Vrindavana, that is his original form, a blackish, bluish form. The same Krishna, no different, but it is called Swayam Prakasa, his own. There is no difference, except maybe Balram. His complexion is slightly different and the mood is slightly different. Balram's mood is to serve Krishna and Krishna's mood is to enjoy. Bhoktaram Sarva Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Right? He is the enjoyer of everything and he is the controller of all the lokas. So that is what is Krishna. And Balaram, he facilitates that. So Balaram is considered in our philosophy, he is considered as the topmost guru. So we have to seek his blessings so that we can reach. He has only blessed us to understand Krishna so far. Now, how do we reach the remainder of the destination? We have to take the help of Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimati Radharani, because we are now on the, at least we understood something. Still the journey is a long journey. We can make it very short, but that is what is all this Krishna consciousness about devotee. So I want someday we can go through all this expansion, how it works. There are Leela avatars, there are Purusha avatars, there is Guna avatars, the mode of Rajas, the Sattva, the Rajas, the Samas. Again, this should not be carefully, it should be analyzed. When somebody says Shiva is Tamas, that doesn't mean Lord Shiva is Tamas. He destroys the tamasic quality. It is like a teacher, especially in the Western kind of countries, there is something called a gifted student. There is something called a regular student. There is another category that they are little, need more help. So the same teacher may be, attending to all three categories of student, but our language will be different. She might even dress different, he or she. That's what it is. We should consider ourselves to be on the gifted student. That's why we are surrendering to Lord Vishnu. If somebody is not still, as a regular student in the Rajas, I want to make more money and things like that, which Krishna has already spoken. Chaturvida, Bhajante Mam, 4 categories of people come to me. that Brahma takes care of that, And Shiva has got a very delicate job. It's not an easy job. Now Shiva has to bring all the tamasic, people who have no interest in the first four categories of Krishna, the Muda and the, Nitya, what is that? The Asuram and so on. So that's what it is. It is all Krishna only. Everything is an expansion of Krishna. So we have to understand that the Devatas, we have worshipped them in the past. We have worshipped them in this lifetime. Okay? But now the mood should be, whether it is Lord Ganesh or Lord Kartikeya or anybody else, please help me so that I can complete my PhD in this lifetime. That's the prayer we should have. We don't want anything else. Because otherwise they will say, you go to Shani Bhagavan, he will remove all the obstacles. You can go to Shani Bhagavan, but for what? Removing what obstacle? That I have to get another promotion in my work, or I have a fight going on with my neighbor, I have to win in that fight. No. This Shani Bhagavan, just please bless me so that I can really reach Krishna Loka this lifetime. That should be our prayer. So devotees, before we get into 722, they say, devotees, this life is a preparation and the death is the examination. And this is a surprise examination. Nobody knows when Krishna is going to give us examination. So suddenly, how will we become Vasudeva Sarvamiti and how are we going to become perfect in that? Unless we practice. That is why we are practicing now. If somebody says chant, if somebody says spend as much time, don't get distracted, that does not mean those people are bad. But we don't have time. How are you going to take the exam? Bhashwati Mataji, when you took your PhD, all the exams and things like that, did you put all your effort in that?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's a long process.
Yeah, long process. And what would your parents would come and say? Concentrate, don't get distracted, don't talk to friends. That's what Krishna is saying. Don't get distracted. You already come to the level of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, yet not complete. So at this moment, if you get distracted, you're going to lose, another zillions of birth. We don't know. So we should always be prepared. We don't know. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after 20 years, after 40 years, then the exam Krishna gives, Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavan, Sadat Sat Bhavitara. Krishna says that soul which leaves the body thinking about Krishna, they reach the spiritual platform. But how will you be able to think about Krishna unless you have practice? That's why we are chanting as much as we can. Baldesa Prabhu, any thoughts?
Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. So, as you see in Bhagavad also, there's two examples worshipping demigods, like when the gopis worshipping Kartayani and praying that Nanda Gopo Sutam Devi Poti Me Kuru Namaho. Hey Kartayani Devi, make Krishna my husband. So their prayer to Kartayani that to make Krishna their husband. So as you say, that we can pray to demigods, but to give more bhakti to Krishna. And they can help us actually, because they're also the favorite sons or daughters of Krishna. That's why they're given that position. And also you see the Rukmini Devi went to the Kalimun temple and praying that Krishna come and kidnap her. So, and that happened also. So if we know that we're doing for Krishna, that's okay. But we are not praying to demigods for our material advancement. And as I told Prabhuji, you know that to attract common devotees, we do at my house every year. I organize Saraswati Puja. If I say they will do satsang, probably 5 Bengali family will come. But when the Saraswati Puja, Prabhuji, I actually tell them some have to hide because already 80 is there. I cannot take more devotees at a time more than 80. So I said, no, next year I'll call you. So when they come, and this year I distributed at least one Bhagavatam during the Saraswati Puja. So when they come for Saraswati, ultimately we divert it to Krishna. And one devotee took Bhagavatam during the Saraswati Puja. So that is the devotee's way to find out the way how to please Krishna. There's no harm on that.
Very nice, Prabhu. That should be our mood. At least I would think we should cultivate a very positive, enthusiastic mood towards others, because they are all tomorrow's prospective devotees. They may not be right now. We were there. Maybe we were there 10 years before all the zillions of birth. We were only there, like Prabhuji was saying. This is the exact word Prabhuji is quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. Would someone like to read? It's a little bit longer verse. Why don't we at least read the translation if somebody wants to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Okay, good.
Each of the young unmarried girls performed her worship while chanting the following mantra: O goddess Katyayani, O great potency of the Lord, O possessor of great mystic power and mighty controller of all, please make the son of Nanda Maharaj my husband. I offer my obeisances to you, unto you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this is what the gopis are praying to, goddess Katyayani. But why they are doing, as Prabhuji very nicely explained, their ultimate goal is Krishna. With that mode, if we approach any of the, Lord Ganesha, for example, Lord Ganesha is considered to be the, God, the Devata for knowledge, removing obstacle. Devotees, we all know that Lord Ganesh only wrote Mahabharata, right? Vedavyas was, narrating, and Lord Ganesh was writing. So he has got a very special place in Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, definitely. So the question now is that, shall we worship Ganesh? Yeah, we can worship Ganesh. Lord Ganesh, remove all the obstacles so that my mind will be completely surrendered to Krishna. That is a good prayer to Ganesh. Okay? And then even Saraswati also, there is one, we normally, before reading Srimad Bhagavatam, which one is that? Two, 2 to 1 to 4. Yeah. Here, this is being said by Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami is talking about, he's paying respect to all his, senior acharyas. Can somebody read this? This is many devotees also chant this before reading Bhagavatam. Maybe Bhashwati Mataji, you want to read both?
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasham tato jayam udirayat.
So, can someone read the Mahesh Prabhu? You want to read the English translation?
Yes, Prabhu, I can. Yeah. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rasya, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vasudeva, the author.
Yeah. So here we can see devotees, even Vedavyas, because Vedavyas has written everything. Sutta Goswami, a very, very elevated acharya, devotee of Krishna, they are also taking the names of, invoking the name of Mother Saraswati. But their mood is not to gain something. They're saying, Mother Saraswati, help me in, always remembering, always, understanding. I want to surrender to Krishna. Because Mother Saraswati is an energy of Krishna only. But the ultimate goal, again, is Krishna. Okay? So devotees, like this, there are many, many illustrations. There are certain very nice commentary by even Srila Prabhupada, how we should not just disrespect Mahamaya and the other demigod. Again, why they are saying, don't be a mood Don't be less intelligent. That is again, as I was explaining, you are already reached a level. Now don't get distracted. That's our goal. Okay. Devotees, any thoughts or questions so far? Devotee?
Prabhuji, Ganeshji also did not write any other scriptures when dictated by the Vishdev, only Bhagavad, Mahabharata, not all other scriptures.
No, my best knowledge is Mahabharata, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was also, sorry, go ahead.
No, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
There is a very good thing. Vedavyas told Lord Ganesh, I will not pause. We are talking about 100,000 verses, Prabhu. And Lord Ganesh obviously is very intelligent. And he would say, okay, I agree to that. But one thing, I have to understand the verse. So I might have to pause. Unless I understand it fully, I will not be able to write. So Vedavyas thought he could understand that Lord Ganesh is very intelligent. He said that, okay, that's fine. So sometimes it is said that even Lord Ganesh used to take a little more time understanding the concept of, the Krishna, everything. But the devotees, here is the thing. There is no fight going on between Krishna and Shiva and Vishnu and Shiva and Ganesh. No, they are all extended energies of Krishna only. But Krishna is the source. So now, as we have been reading through all these verses, let us just concentrate on Krishna. Let us see if we can complete the journey, Krishna consciousness journey, this lifetime. No guarantee about next life, devotee. So I'm not saying we should not think pessimistic, but we don't know what would be the condition. We don't know what is our karma. Is Pawan Prabhu here? Okay, Pawan Prabhu may not be here, but he is a very knowledgeable person on this, astrology and how our, Sanchita karma, Parabdha karma, almost. Karma is a very most complicated subject matter. We really don't know what baggage we are carrying on our shoulder. We have no idea at all. And it can be micro, it can be macro. By our action, we can cause a lot of good things, bad things to us and also to others. So the thing is that...
Prabhuji.
Sorry?
I have a question. Are we going to before we go on to the next verse, I wanted to ask a question, Prabhuji.
Okay, please go ahead.
I actually had that yesterday as well, and it was at the end of the hour, at the top of the hour. So, like, if you can shed some more light on it. So, we are talking about like not being distracted by worshiping all the demigods and demigoddesses, right? Now that we have reached a certain level of understanding that Krishna is the supreme, that we should only like really worship Lord Krishna. So then the question that comes to my mind is, then along with Krishna, we also say that we should also be worshipping our Guru Maharaj, right? So like, are we then saying they are above all the demigods and demigoddesses, and like worshipping them is not really a distraction, that is supporting and helping us in this journey? Prabhuji?
Yeah, Krishna himself, at the end of the Bhagavatam is a very extensive understanding about these philosophies, Mataji. And it is narrated in the form of different episodes of interaction between the Lord and the devotees, sometimes among the devotees, sometimes interaction with the demons and so on. So I think I don't recall the exact, it's a very important, let's say, creation, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna has actually answered this particular question of, is this the one? I'm not sure. he would say that the Guru is an expansion of myself. Krishna is saying. I will show that I don't remember that exact words from Srimad. Anybody remembers devotees where Krishna says it is in 11th canto. 11th canto is a very amazing canto. Krishna is talking to Uddhava. Like Krishna is giving Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, is giving amazing, even more higher level of spiritual illustrations and instructions to Uddhava. So in that he's saying the gurus are an expansion of mind, and the gurus are even more than the devatas. He's saying it's there in Bhagavatam. The
One
reason is
Chaitanya Charitamrita, first chapter also, Prabhuji, Adi Leela also explained about Guru Krishna. Guru is the representative of Lord Krishna. So it's also Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami also explained that. Prabhuji. And Prabhupada.
very nice.
Bhagavatam Prabhuji 11:3:21.
Yeah. So, let's real quick, since it's very important. 11:3:21. 21. Okay. Okay. Why not we read at least the English translation, devotees? Shalini Mataji, why don't you read, since you have the question?
Sure, Prabhuji. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters.
Yeah, this is a very good verse. There is one more verse also which directly says that he is even above all the devatas. I hope. I'm sure we will find it, Mataji. Please forgive my.
That's fine. I think
my forgetfulness, but there is a very specific verse.
The Prabhuji 11:17:27.
Okay, 11:17:27. Yeah.
Guru.
Okay, very good. Okay, 11. We are in
11:17:27.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Haribol Baldesa Prabhu. I could not remember the exact verse. This is very important. Why not we read? Sorry, devotees, we are slightly deviating from our Bhagavad Gita, but I think these are all very important kind of an understanding. Once if we make our understanding clear, that's it. Our path, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, and just go back to Goloka Vrindavan, go back to God. So why don't one of us read this, devotee? Who can read Venkatesh Prabhu?
Yes. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Acharyam mam vijayaniyan navamanyeta karhichit namartya buddhya suyeta sarva deva mayo guru.
Okay. How about one of us can read the translation?
One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods.
Yeah, very powerful. This is Krishna is saying, dear devotees. It's not somebody saying to somebody else, which is also very powerful when the Acharya says, but this is from Krishna only, that the Guru is the representative of all the devatas. And Prabhupada will further explain here who is an Acharya and what are the qualities and so on. What does Manu Samhita says, and so we'll get to read that sometime. But to answer Shalini Mataji's question, this is why Guru is given so much importance in many religions, actually. In fact, even Lord Jesus Christ is considered as a very elevated Guru. Of course, Krishna is the ultimate Guru. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru, right? So, but Guru is not an ordinary person, because he's given such a very important position, because he's going to take us to Krishna. So that is why he's given, because he's not going to give you wealth. If you go and ask your Guru, can I become a millionaire? How can I make money? I want real promotion. Guru will not be a real Guru. He will not be even interested in even discussing something about it. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu. Namananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all the devotees. Prabhuji, and also we chant that Mongol Arati prayers, Shakshad Horitena Samasta Shastre Uktash Tatha Bhavbote Abhashabdi. Kintu Prabhure Priya Budasya Bonde Guru Shri Guru Charana. It says like spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he is the most confidential servitor. Shakshad Hori. Like himself is we should respect him as a Hori, as none other than Krishna. And also Prabhuji, if Krishna is not satisfied with us, a Guru can take care of this. But if Guru is not satisfied with us, there is no hope. Hare Krishna. Back to
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev. Yeah. Guru is very important. So, Shalini Mataji, that's one of the reasons why Guru is always given a very, very important position. Even in our the Vedic culture, I'm sure you must have heard something like Mata Pita Guru Devam. Have you heard about that?
Yes, Prabhuji. There's also one more shloka from Tulsidas, I think. Guru Govind dono khade kaake lagu pao. Balihari Guru Dev ki Govind diyo jalai. Like he's showing the path to Krishna. But I was actually not understanding fully, when in the context of, if we are saying that demigod worship now is not prescribed, then why were we saying Guru Puja? But now I understand, Prabhuji. Thank you for explaining.
Yeah. Guru's sole purpose is to take us to, first of all, show who Krishna is. Okay, that's what the first thing that we read. Om Ajnana Timrindasya. He is taking us from a darkness to the light. He's showing us Krishna, and then he will take us to Krishna. If we are serious, he will do that. And without Krishna's mercy, we really won't be able to understand Krishna at all to begin with. We won't even come to know who is Krishna. And even if we somewhat understand who is Krishna, we'll definitely not read the Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That level we will not reach unless we have the blessings from Guru.
Thank you for explaining.
Okay. So devotees, today's discussion has mostly been this. I hope it was somewhat productive, and hopefully it will help us in our Krishna consciousness. So do you think we should read the Bhagavad Gita, or
Prabhuji, I have a question that's a related question about the demigod worship, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So Prabhuji, actually, I'm talking about myself. From childhood, we used to worship Durga, Ma Durga, Saraswati, Ma Saraswati. So that's all we did from our childhood, and it's kind of emotion is attached with it. So, but now Prabhuji, after coming to ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada's shelter, so Prabhupada directly clearly said that we should respect all the demigods, but only worship Krishna will be enough. Like others are like Prabhuji, we do not need. So I'm kind of confused, Prabhuji, because I do not want to keep my emotion of worshipping, because I know now Krishna is our Supreme Lord. And so that's the question, Prabhuji, I'd like to ask. Even participating and demigods worship is required as a Hare Krishna devotee, or I should focus only on Krishna, whatever the reason I could be, but I should focus on Krishna, Prabhuji, right? Because
Absolutely.
and senior devotees also encourage about it, Prabhuji. That's what my question. I'm my aspiring follower, Prabhuji. I'm not even a devotee. I'm trying to.
Right. No. We have all gone through this. Some of us may still be going through that. We have to understand Srila Prabhupada has also said, even if you have to worship, the devas and devatas, you have to worship in the proper mood. Again, everything goes back to Krishna. Okay, let's say you are a very good kirtanier. As we see even at the beginning of Bhagavatam, we are only glorifying Mother Goddesses, right? I mean, Saraswati, Goddess Saraswati, Mother Saraswati. So the question is that, do you want to say that or you don't want to say it?
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. We should respect our goddesses.
Yeah. So it is not a real worshipping, but it is paying the right respect, just taking the blessings only for Krishna, so that we can, not that Krishna has got some deficiency that we have to go to Mother Saraswati. That's not the mode, But we have to understand Mother Saraswati is only working for Krishna. It's like a governor is working only for the country and the president is the top, right? So it's not necessary that if the president is saying, come to me, don't worry about anything, anybody else. I am here for you to, I'll take care of you. Now, if you happen to talk to the governor, you facilitate, see that how you can meet as soon as possible with the president, if you can help. That's it. You don't have any other business with the governor. So in that, the mood is what is very important, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada has many times in his lectures, he has explained this also. It is not required at all. It's not. Because Krishna is wholesome. He is everything. Aham sarvasa prabhava, right? Everything is included in him. So we really don't have to go to anybody else. But even if there is something you feel like you have to go, the mood is how you can get to Krishna. Mahesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yeah. Prabhuji, I have another question. Like we means from childhood, like we always pray to our Hindu gods. What about the other gods, like Allah or Jesus or someone from some other thing? So, what should be our behavior to those people or those religions? Yeah. Could you please
Yes,
explain?
Prabhuji, very good question. I actually had the same question. They had Eid celebration at the office today, and I was like, I don't know if I should be going. So I have similar question now, Prabhuji, if you can clarify that.
We have maybe 5 more minutes. This is a very intense subject matter. But again, we can only take guidance from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has said this many, many times to other religions, other philosophy, and so on. He said that if you are following a God, okay, and if you have some strong scriptures to support those, and if you're able to understand those, and if you're advancing in your love toward that God, please do that. We can help you. We are not saying that you have to only come to Hare Krishna and chant only Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So if they are by consciousness wise, if they have pure consciousness, okay, and then they have the subject matter becomes little complicated. What is happening now? There are so many Bhagawans have appeared, normal beings, human beings, and they say this Baba is a Bhagawan, that for me is a Bhagawan, and so on. That's the problem. But Krishna has appeared in many forms. Okay, and again, what the Hare Krishna, the ISKCON is trying to say is that out of all this, of the incarnation, okay, Krishna, what is that? Etisya amsa kalapamsa Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna's expansion is unlimited, right? In Christianity also, to my best knowledge, there is this Holy Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. There is not a very detailed description of the Holy Father. There is not. That's what I understand. It is left a little broad, almost like impersonal. Okay. Now the question is that we here have all the explanation and the detail, all the instruction, all the testimonial from all the Acharya. So is this an opportunity for us to take that and move forward? Many Westerners have taken that approach. Americans, Europeans, Russians, they say that, yes, I see a point here. The Holy Father, here the description of the Father is very detailed. And Krishna himself says, I am the Father. Pita am asyo jagato mata data pitam hai vedam pavitram omkara rig sama yajur evacha. Krishna is saying, I am your father. I am your mother. I am all the Vedas. Okay. So here is a very direct instruction from that Supreme Lord. So then religion is secondary at that point. Everybody is interested in to only know who is the Supreme Lord. It's not, Krishna is not just for Hindu. The term Hindu, it even does not belong to the Vedic knowledge. There is not, you will not find one single term as Hindu. We are what is called the Sanatana Dharma, part and parcel of this Vedic knowledge. So there is nothing called really, Srila Prabhupada used to say, don't consider yourself as just as an Hindu, as an Indian, American. No, God is for everybody. To think that Krishna is only for Indians or Hindus would be a very narrow understanding. Does it, at least to some extent, answer your question, Mahesh Prabhu?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Everybody has got an equal opportunity to understand and interact with God. They also have in Christianity several acharyas are there. They have given the purport, the translation to the Bible. There is Old Testament, there is New Testament. So there are a lot of scriptures there also available. But what I have heard from even the Christians who have followed Christianity and then they have joined ISKCON, they say that the details given in the Shastras is like, it's like what you call an encyclopedia versus a pocket dictionary. Meaning there's so much information, What did this Lord do on a particular day? How did he interact with his, friends? How did he interact with a, specific person? It is so detailed. Our Damodar month will come very soon. There is a chapter on just the Damodara, how Mother Yashoda was preparing all the sweets and celebration for little Krishna. Very detailed. What clothes she was wearing and what was her mood. So we have to understand when there is so much information, and if somebody is convinced that, yeah, this is a very good information, I think they take Krishna. But if somebody has not heard about Krishna at all, they can be in a consciousness wise, they can be very elevated, they'll get an equal opportunity to understand Krishna.
I want to share one show.
Sure. Yeah.
In Kolkata, in West Bengal, there is a called Didi number 1. So very like regular weekly show. So in Jamashtami, they invited few ISKCON devotees, or mostly Matajis. And one Russian Mataji, so she's a Orchona, she's actually a now Lok Sabha member. So she's asking her, why did you come to Krishna consciousness? What made you come to ISKCON? So she's telling that she's Russian, her mother is a Muslim, father is a Christian. So she asked her mother that, who is God? What is God? So mother said, just be afraid of God and just follow his instruction. And he asked father, who is God? How he looks like? Father said, oh, just love the God. So she did not get any answer from both parents. So she keep looking. And one day somehow she ended up in ISKCON temple. And she asked, who is it? Oh, God. But God it is. Then she went into the Shastra, and ultimately she is now in the Mayapur Dham Vashi. So she said, coming to Krishna consciousness and reading Prabhupada translation, I found my answer that I'm longing for since my childhood. Who is God? Now I can connect God, I can talk with the God, I can play with the God, and I'm always with the God. It is not like something beyond my imagination, not perceivable. Like I can perceive God very easily. That was very nice, Shubham.
Very nice reflection, Prabhu. Yeah. Here we have an opportunity to understand Krishna to the fullest extent. Right? The Shastras are giving, Krishna himself is displaying. Of course, Krishna is infinite. We may not be able to understand everything about Krishna, but we get a very powerful, very good lot of information. Especially Bhagavad Gita, even though it's only 700 verses, and Bhagavatam, these two combined, it gives us all the information. How lovely is this, wonderful Supreme Lord? What was his interaction? What is his mood? Even in the so-called prominent avatars, each mood is different. When he comes as a Parshuram, his mood is very different. He comes for a very specific. But Krishna is the complete. Krishna is, perfectly complete, completely perfect. That's why we are saying our ultimate goal should be Krishna. And if Krishna is saying, come to me, we will go to Krishna, very direct, one-to-one relationship. So devotees, we got a little bit kind of on good cause only. We discussed something other than the 722. 722, why not we do this, devotee, just for the benefit. Krishna is saying here, endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desire. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. This is very important, devotees. This also answers Mahesh Prabhuji's question. This also answers Shalini Mataji's question. What happens to others? Yes, the faith is given by only Krishna, none other than Krishna. And then he's saying, but in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Everything goes to Krishna only. Dear devotees, we might have heard one very common phrase in India, Sarva Daiva Namaskara Sri Keshavam Pratigachati. Have you heard about that, Mahesh Prabhu?
I don't remember.
Okay, there is a very common saying. It's also in the part of one of the Shastra. It says Sarva Deva Namaskara. That means there are millions of Devas, all the Keshava Pratikachiti. Everything goes to Keshava, Lord Keshava, Krishna. Like all the rivers go to the ocean, right? Same thing, all this name, whatever name we call, ultimately it goes only to Krishna. So we can consider ourselves, then why not we just glorify Krishna, the more and more. Krishna himself has got millions of names, so why not we just concentrate on? So there is no fight going on between Krishna and the other devatas and incarnations. They are all one and the same. But from what we understand, Krishna is the ultimate, is the Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. All other incarnations is the avatar. All the avatars are from him. So devotees, we took some additional time Shall we conclude here? Unless there are, Subal Prabhu didn't say anything today.
A very nice discussion.
He's,
Prabhu.
he's just, he's so knowledgeable.
Absorbing, Prabhuji.
When Prabhu, why are you not leading?
We want to hear from you, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhu, you're more elevated than me and more knowledgeable. So,
Okay.
devotees, I think next Saturday, there is a very nice Rath Yatra program hosted by one of our very senior devotee. Many of us know him, Balaram Sarup Prabhu, Bonkim Prabhu. It will be a very wonderful experience. You will get an opportunity to pull the Ratha, the cart. And the Shastra says, once if you pull the Ratha cart, that's it. You are in spiritual mode, permanently. So please participate. If you don't have the information, we have posted in many of the groups. So that will be on June 29, Sunday from 5 p.m. Okay. Baldesva Prabhu, any final conclusion thought?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Very good. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. ISKCON Temple Sankirtana ki jai. ISKCON Temple Bhagavad Gita study ki jai. All ways to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sri Dhamma Prabhuji ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Jai.